Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are working on Annie's room makeover. So if you saw the previous video where I did Rosie's room makeover, it's called Cottage Style Toddler Room Makeover, Cottage Inspired, something like that. Then you heard me say Annie's room would be made over with a lot of stuff that we just already have. Similar to the reason why Rosie is turning 3 this week and she's just now getting like a truly custom room. It's the same concept. Like, I don't want to put a whole lot of money and effort into something that may not even be what my kid wants. Like, I never would have guessed that Rosemary was gonna say she wanted a red room. I really like how it turned out. I really recommend that you go watch that video if you haven't seen it. But all of that to say, I don't want to put the cart before the horse with Annie's room either. So I'm just using a lot of what we have. A couple of things I've already gotten. A lot of this stuff is waiting to be like curtains hung, pictures framed, and placed. So a lot of that is about to take place. I am working on one piece of furniture and a shelf, changing that up a little bit. So anyways, I just wanted to show you all of this. It shouldn't take too long. I have been going on a whole declutter series that has gotten us to a place where I felt like we could manage our stuff and we could really personalize our home without just feeling like we're tripping over everything, or it's just like adding color would be adding more clutter, you know what I mean? So I'm very excited for where we're at, and I'm very excited for how this room is going to evolve in something very personalized for our sweet Annabelle, who, if you're new here, is 1. My name is Megan. I have 2 daughters. One is about to turn 3 in 2 days. The other one just turned 1 a couple months ago. So I tried to have them share a room. It did not work out, and now they're getting their own bedrooms, and we're personalizing them to each of their likings, and what that means for a 1-year-old means my liking. Anyways, let's get started. All right, so this is kind of what we got going on currently. I know it's not a super traditional setup to have a large play yard for the bed, but listen, it's just always worked out best for us to have areas where, like, to have floor beds, but because we're limited on space in the house that we live in now, we didn't have a great way to keep her safe, like to keep all the furniture around her baby safe. It was just not really feasible. So we got this play yard to put her bed on, but it slides around a lot. So we are actually planning on, this is a playroom at the moment, but we are actually planning on using the crib that we used with Rosie. For Annie. So I don't think she's quite to the point of being ready to make it like into a toddler bed. It does transition all the way into a full-size bed, which is great. But we're probably just gonna leave it as a crib and on the lowest setting for now. This cabinet was in Rosie's room and it got moved in here. We have 2 more. This is actually 1 out of a set of 3. And we have 2 more in our living room that I am planning on us moving in here. I think that the top 3 shelves on all 3 units will end up being our books, and then the bottom shelves can be toy storage, kid books, all of that. Hopefully it will reduce the need for the other shelving and stuff that we have around our house for book storage. This quilt was actually made by my great-grandmother for my parents' wedding gift, and that is my solution to like wall decor right now because it's big, and also if you look closely, but it's just very tattered. It's one of my very favorite quilts to actually use. It's just getting so worn that my parents are gracious to let us keep it at our house. I don't want it to get even more ruined. So that's our wall decor right now. It's just hung with thumbtacks. I had looked at purchasing some actual quilt tapestry clips, I guess. I don't really know. They screw into the wall and then they clip the fabric. But I had looked into some of those, but the way that the top of the quilt kind of just like falls over the thumbtacks, it works just as good, and they were a lot cheaper. So for now, we're gonna roll with that. I did get a rug that I'm about to show you. I am halfway through this project. This book ledge was stained, so I'm painting it white. I'm trying to make this whole section, including the inside of the cabinet, which is, I'm working on it. I'm trying to make all of that white. Because this is going to all be wood along this wall, I'm afraid that, you know, it's not a large bedroom, so I'm afraid it's going to really shrink the room in. So I'm hoping that by painting everything on this side of the room white to match the walls, it'll feel like maybe there's not furniture even there. And then inside this cabinet, I'm going to use for my quilt storage. So Annie's room is going to be like the multi-purpose. Like it's serving the whole house. But anyways, if I keep jabbering, I'm never going to get to show you anything because that's just how this is going so far. Let me show you this rug and then let's get to work. Okay, so this is the beautiful rug and we're kind of working with like this sage color that's pulled out of the quilt coloring, and then we're also going to be working with some blues. I love to mix and match patterns, and that's the goal here, but in a like kind of minimal way, something that's not overly done. I don't really know how to explain it, but you'll see. Okay, so in this lighting, I like it. I think it looks cute. But in real life, I don't know quite yet. I stopped halfway through because I was like, oh, I have some like curtain cafe ring hook rings that like clip onto curtains. We use those in our kitchen for those little curtains, and I thought that would be cute in here, and I have no idea where they are. So, shame on me for thinking I have 20 minutes. I can put some things together real quick in this room. Let's get this done. It's my own fault. It's fine. We'll see how it all comes together. So this was definitely not the rug that I intended to layer on top of the ivory and sage rug that I got, but the curtain color just threw me off. The rug that I was going to use for it is a blue and tan plaid, and the blue is almost more of like an aqua. I don't know, it's just different. And then the curtains were more of like a denim. But I just left this clip in here. I ended up not using a layering rug at all because the sage and ivory one make the room feel so much brighter and more open because of how light they are. So I'm just praying that we can keep them in good shape. But I left this clip in here because I just love Annie's help in it. It's so cute. See what I mean? It's looking like something, but it's looking really farmhousey, and that's not quite what I'm going for. Okay, so a few updates since the last time we talked. It's been, I think, like a week or something. Anyways, a lot has happened. I decided that the curtains were not actually what I wanted, so I went ahead and sent those back. Clearly, we got the crib set up. It's going great so far. We actually set that up last night, but the problem that we ran into with the crib is that when we moved, we lost all the hardware. So I ordered a crib hardware replacement kit on Amazon, and I have these little gnats. But it came in, I tried it. I tried something my parents had in their house. None of them worked. Like the threading on the ones I got from Amazon were off, or maybe this is just a style crib that it didn't work with. So those went back too. And then I had also gotten a crib sheet that was like a sage green color, but whenever I had to take the curtains back and all of that, I just went kind of a totally different route. I was going to, like I said before, mix in blues with this, partially because Rosie told me Annie's room needed to be blue. But, sorry Rosie, it's not. It's going to be like all green. So I ordered some, this girl loves her blankie. Hey baby. But I ordered some sage green velvet curtains that I think are going to be really pretty. I hope anyways. They didn't have any of the 63 inch, so I had to go with the longer, but I went with as short as I could. So I got the 84. We'll just see how it goes. So since we got the crib set up, she slept really well in it last night. The next thing is this pack and play is now standing up on its side because the room wasn't big enough to hold both. And because of how our hallway is set up, we couldn't get it out without breaking it down, which, it was a booger to put together, y'all. So I'm hoping that I don't have to completely disassemble it to get it out, because I'm hoping to use it in my classroom. So I'm in a week. So I'm gonna have to pop it right back up. And so yeah, what I'm about to do is try to disassemble just parts of this, and that way we can get it into the storage building for the next week. And then I'm also hoping, as you can see, because we didn't use the original hardware, this is going to need to be painted. I had originally painted this crib when Rosie used it, but it had a bar that went across there, and the bar does not go in without the hardware. So we could have drilled in from the outside on that too, but it would have messed up like this molding over here on the outside. So I just said, let's just leave it off and I'll paint over that. So need to do that. I have got this cabinet mostly painted except for the very bottom around the outside. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put the quilts in there right now. And then I'm just going to start kind of hanging some little things around the room that I've gotten. I have a little picture frame with a sweet print like an art print that I got from Etsy. Same artist, Chimney Smoke Art, that did the one for Rosie's room. And I feel like she knows me and my girls so well, and I just love her work. So I'm excited to hang that up and show it to you. I did get a little brass swing arm lamp from, excuse what you're about to hear, from the thrift store yesterday, and I want it in every room of my house. I only have one. So I don't know if it'll end up in here. Right now it's in my kitchen. Yeah, so we'll just see what happens. And then also my brother and sister-in-law are having a big family yard sale next door. So we're going to walk over there in a few minutes, and we may just find some stuff there that needs to go in here. Whoa. This is a cardboard box that became a puppet theater, and yeah, it's really just a playhouse, but it also needs to go in the trash. Anyways, so I am going to get to work on a few of these things, take you along, and see how much we can get done before we go yard sailing. Justice, but I'm sweating right now. That was a lot of work. I finally got smart and started laying the quilts out in front of the actual cabinet that they're going into so that I could see exactly what size they needed to be rather than just like guessing and trying to fold them that way. But yeah, it was also tough because Annie girl loves to waller on quilts, and she just is obsessed with cushions and blankets. But yeah, they're in there. I might have a few more to go here soon. And then also the pack and play collapsed much easier than I thought it would, and that was exciting. So have one in your room. This is a different one. This is for Sissy's room.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's evening. We went to the yard sale this morning and it is so humid outside. It actually just came a really big thunderstorm. So the hair is very different than how you last saw it. However, I did just get basically everything done except for when the curtains come, I'll put those on, and then the crib sheet is going to come as well. And then tomorrow, hopefully, we can move the rest of the bookcases in here and I can get those situated. But up to this point, I've done just about everything that I need to do in order to stay on top of this. So that's exciting. I was gifted several like just crafty things by my grandmother-in-law, and a couple of them actually I think will really work out well in Annie's room. So I'm super excited about that. One of them she had already done. She quilts, she embroiders, cross stitches, all those things, and she knows that I like that stuff too. So she, like, as she's clearing out storage building, she's passing things along to me, and it's so exciting. All of it's exciting, but it's so exciting whenever I find things that she's already done. And it's like the stuff that I love with the homemade touch, but I don't have to do it. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it. It's just a lot of work. So she had this in there, which I just love, and it's the right colors for Annie's room. So it's a 9x10 mat, and I think that I don't know if I want to do like cut it down to an 8x10, or the frame for Annie's art print is 8x8. So I don't know if I want to get that exact same one and just do, ooh, I might do that and do both of them right there. But then there's also this in there, so I could do my own. And it comes with like the oval, wood style oval frame also, and then it makes that pretty pink rose. So I love them. We didn't find anything at the yard sale for this room, but I did find some goodies. That was exciting. And yeah, so then a lot of these books that you just saw me placing up here on Annie's book ledge are actually some are like books from my childhood, some are like meaningful books that they were gifted for Christmas that I just don't like them having access to all the time because they're really special and I don't want them to be messed up. And then some are like special finds that I've found at thrift stores that I actually have a little thrift Instagram account, and I tried to sell them on there and they just didn't sell. So I am gladly keeping them for my own home. So those are some of the things up there. I'll show you a little bit more of that later. I picked one porcelain doll that was mine from growing up. If you saw the Get It All Done video that I posted recently, then you heard me talk about these dolls. There's way too many, but I chose one for Annie's room, and it just reminds me so much of Annie. And she's got like the strawberry blonde hair and the big gummy smile and blue eyes, and she's just so cute. So excited about that. Excited that I found some more storage for some like extra comforters, not only for my quilts, but in this cabinet I was able to put extra comforters as well. So that lightens the load that the trunks at the foot of our bed were carrying. They were holding a lot of sheets and extra comforters and bedding in that. So this has been a really nice solution, and I'm so pumped to get those bookcases across that wall and then be able to organize them with a lot of our stuff. And gosh, it just feels like so much of our house is like simplifying and being put together all at the same time, and it just feels really, really good. So, oh, thank you. Oh, you figured it out. She's found catchphrase. We're actually about to have a game night tonight with my parents and grandmother, and they're wanting to play that. So hopefully the batteries aren't dead before they get here. But yeah, I have a few things that I still need to finish painting, which I might go ahead and do right now. Let's see if we can do it. It might be crazy, but let's just see. Here we go. Okay, the girls stayed focused on toys and playing for about 15 minutes, and I was actually able to knock out all of the paint spots that I needed to hit. I will actually need to come back and get the bottom of this cabinet one more time, but hey, the fact that I was able to even get a single coat on there was awesome and very unexpected. So I think that we'll call it a day for today. We're gonna go enjoy game night, and then we will pick back up with moving some bookcases, hopefully tomorrow. We shall see. For whoever is wondering, at some point I will probably, maybe hopefully, change out that extension cord to something white that matches the wall. But for now, that's what we got. Here's some proof for Annie to look back on so that I can show her she did indeed wear clothes during some of the days of her infant years. But Nicholas secured the bookcases to the wall because she will surely be using them as a ladder before long. The following night, threw curtain rods on the floor. But we got the curtains in, the sage velvet curtains, and they're actually not nearly as heavyweight as what I anticipated, which I like better because I was afraid with the heavyweight ones that they would really get pulled down easily by the girls. And these are just so soft, and they claim to be blackout. They're mostly blackout. You can still see some light through it, but they're not at all light filtering. So Annie still has been sleeping fine with them. I love them so much. I think they're so beautiful and elegant. I'm already trying to figure out where I can use more throughout my house, but colors are tricky. So then, of course, the girls had to pull every book off the shelf, but that's okay. I love these crib sheets that we got. They actually have a lining in them so that they are like water resistant or repellent. I don't really know, but I highly recommend them. I'll link them down below. And then, yeah, I just really enjoyed putting every book from our house onto these shelves. Just about. There's a few still elsewhere, but it felt really good to get these organized. To have this storage space available to us is just a dream. I'm very, very grateful for this. We live in a small house. There's one closet per bedroom, and actually our master closet is our laundry room, bulk pantry, and utility closet also. So then we have been gifted this like measuring stick by my sister-in-law a while back for Annie's birthday, and I just didn't have a great place to put it yet, so I just hung it in my old-fashioned way of thumbtacks, which is why it's wobbling all over the place. But we went ahead and measured out the girls, and we had done this once before, and it was writing on the walls, so I love that with this we were able to just write on the board, and then we can keep the board forever even if we were to move. And that's a wrap on Annie's room. I feel like it took way longer than I expected because we had everything except for the curtains, the rug, and the crib sheet that went in here, but there was just a lot of moving parts and yeah, basically like reconstructing our entire house in a way in order for this room to come together. But I really love how it's assembled itself. Like, this is so much more functional, so practical. It's currently the playroom and the baby room and the library, toy storage. I mean, there's just like, I found a place to store my records. There's a couple of things still that need to kind of find their home or be a little bit better organized, but I'm just so pleased with how this has turned out. I'm so excited about it, and I'm looking forward to how the rest of our house is going to continue to bring itself together. This is so exciting to me, and I know that a lot of people assemble the crib in their baby's room before the baby even is born, and here we are like a year and a half after she's been with us here on this earth putting it together. But she looks so darn cute in it. I mean, she just looks like a true little kid, little baby, and I just love it so much. I also love how these shelves don't necessarily have to be like perfectly staged or anything, because before they were in the main room when you walk into our house, and now they're just here in the bedroom serving a purpose, being beautiful as they are. I found a place to put the little climbing mats over here, so that's really exciting too. I'm very pleased with how it all turned out, and here we are on another rainy morning. We have a thunderstorm rolling through right now. My garden is loving all this rain. My heart is loving all of the just organization and peacefulness within our home. I'm excited for that to continue. I'm excited to just sit and play with my girls for a little bit. And yeah, I hope that you have enjoyed this. I hope that you have a great day wherever you're at, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, guys. J.R. Miller said, "Far more than we know do the strength and beauty of our lives depend on the home in which we dwell." And I hope my girls are being built up with strength and with beauty that comes from within, that comes from a confidence of knowing who they are and that they have been created for a purpose and for such a time as this, that they are truly loved, not only by me and Nicholas and everyone that they meet, in my opinion, but also and most importantly by the Lord himself, who created this universe, who is perfect in every way. He created them just to his liking and wants to know them and have a relationship with them, just as he does with all of us. And I just hope that they learn those foundational truths within our home, not because we had everything perfect and not because we had all the most beautiful stuff or spent the most money on so many activities and just the long list of things that we may feel inclined at times to provide for them. Those aren't the things that the Lord tells us will satisfy their souls. It's these little touches of heart in the home that are building them into who they're going to be. And I just am so grateful that I get the opportunity to do what I do. I'm so grateful to get to love on these people that I've been blessed with. And I love getting to do that by creating holy, sanctifying spaces throughout our home.
There she is.
Sometimes with nice, new, pretty things, and sometimes with the beautiful, worn things that we've had forever.